This is an installation that we did at Cody Arena in New Jersey, which is actually the practice facility for the New Jersey Devils. And actually they're in the playoffs. They're practicing next door in the sheet of ice parallel to this, and they don't let any of us go in because they're worried we're going to take some of their plays. So I'll tell you a little about what we did here. 17,000 square feet. It's an 85 by 200 rink, which is fairly standard in the U.S. We've got radiuses on all four sides, so when you're purchasing a 17,000 square foot rink, you're actually getting extra to fill in all the corners of the radiuses and then substitute material if you need to swap stuff out over the course of the life of the floor. Over here, we started in this corner. This happens to be the northeast corner. What we always want to do on the beginning of the installation is make sure that the male clips are always facing away from us. So if we start here, we're moving backwards. The females are always facing towards us and to the left of us, such that when you look at the tile, you actually can't read a vent deck because it's upside down. You begin in the right corner. And the reason you do this is because the tiles automatically connect themselves when the females are facing up. So you're sliding the pieces into position. The curvature on each tile actually enables the adjacent tile to slide up and over that tile during the connection process. So that really is one of the advantages of this system, because time-wise, you're not having to do much for alignment. It's aligning itself. What we did here is we began with an L shape, which started at the end of the radius and at the beginning of the radius. That was squared off so we knew we were online. As we started to install the product, and you'll see this on the time-lapse video, we began in a series of rows coming across the ice like this. And we continued that all the way till the end. For the first installation, that should take about 2 to 2.5 hours. As your crew gets better at the process, it shouldn't take more than about an hour and a half for 8 people. You can drive a forklift on the floor, and you'll see some footage of that later. But during the course of the installation, you really don't need to, because you're going to be working away from where the floor already is. We're going to start to cut the radiuses to actually match the radiuses you have around the whole ring. First thing you're going to do is you're going to lay a couple pieces down to correspond to the opening area that you have. So in this case you've got 3 pieces. So we're going to put 3 pieces together. And this is where we're going to actually end up cutting to fit to the rink radius. What we do is it's actually fairly simple. We line these up with the adjacent tiles, which they're going to ultimately end up connecting to. We measure the first one, we see it goes to the end of the tile, so there's nothing to cut here. Then we measure the other end of the tile, which in this case, to right at the end of the curvature here, is 17 inches. So we start back at the other tile here at 17 inches, and we're going to score that with a permanent marker. So we know that the line to be cut is now from this corner, where it goes right to the end there, to the score line. We do a straight line on that. We're going to do a cut straight along that line, but actually just inside it by a ½ inch to give yourself some clearance and to allow for expansion and contraction over the course of the time that the floor is down. They're going to continue that process for all of them.
What about this here?
The way you disconnect the floor is actually very simple. You basically put some weight down over here, you pick it up and unsnap it. Make sure you're holding it in the direction that the clips are. Basically like that, you flip it over, step on it, slide it out of the way.